Hello and welcome everyone. I just wanted to kind of take a second and talk about the actual matchmaking today in Star Wars: The Old Republic. So for those of you who don't know, back when 7.2 came out, there was a bunch of changes made under the hood to the matchmaking system. Not only was rank removed, but they also changed matchmaking system supposedly for the better. So apparently, from what the information and everything that I've gathered through the various posts that BioWare has made, is the game takes account some type of an ELO or skill-based matchmaking, and then it also takes into account group size, and then finally it takes into account the fastest matches. Here's an infinite problem though currently in the game, and the game's population is dwindling, and I think it's because of this one reason. The matchmaking is currently not working due to the population size. So currently, if you look at the game that we have going on behind me, I completely solo queued this game. I just basically loaded into a game, queued up, thought I would get a couple games in, and instantly I am met with a 5-man pre-made. So, in this 5-man pre-made, what you're seeing as you're gonna notice happens is I'm gonna get constantly attacked and they're gonna constantly focus targets. Every time you touch their healer, watch. They're all gonna jump to you constantly. See right there? I knew exactly what was coming. I knew exactly they were all gonna jump to me, and I knew exactly what was gonna happen. So what's the problem with this? The problem with this is this match is not in the least bit fair. There is no way on earth that I will have fun in this match. The only way to win this match, which is what we end up doing, is to basically cap both the side nodes and then just run away from them the entire match. That has pretty much been my experience in PvP here as of late. As of late, the actual pre-mades are not getting matched against other groups. They're just flat out, it's just not happening, and that's because of the population of the game. So, they're basically abusing this. Now, the perspective that I have, and this perspective that I've always taken, if I was a new player to the game, and I instantly loaded up a game, mind you, there's no difference between me or someone else queuing at this point. The whole thing where they were going to take ELO into consideration, I haven't seen it happen. I really haven't. It's just, I'm pretty sure it's just the fastest matches. That's the number one thing that they care about as far as the matchmaking algorithm goes. So if you're a new player and you queue into this game, why would you ever queue again? So what's going to happen is you are going to get absolutely stopped over and over and over again. And you could be the best player ever. You could literally be the greatest player ever. There's no way that you're going to win this game. Not only do they have tanks and heals, they're also obviously focusing targeting. Like I said at the beginning, you could tell the moment you jump on their healer, they're instantly turning around. So we know what's going on. It's no secret. As a new player coming into this game, it's basically you're never gonna play again. It's just the truth of the matter is you're gonna be like, what is this? Why is this happening? What is going on? And as much as I've been against basically this whole pre-made and things and removing and not removing pre-mades and kind of keeping it the way it is, at this point in the game, I think the population being where it is, we have to remove pre-mades. It just has to happen. You don't have to completely remove them from the game, but they should be only allowed to queue into other pre-mades at this point. The game just cannot handle it anymore. There's not enough groups, and the matchmaking doesn't work correctly enough to separate players or to delay queues. It makes the experience bad, and that's I think the biggest part around this whole thing. Because even me, even someone who's played this game for a long time, I didn't want to queue anymore. We still win this game, but the game overall, and I think this is the biggest problem with the pre-made issue that we've been having, when you get groups like this, the game just doesn't feel fun at all. It doesn't. It feels almost like it's a weighted dice roll. Like, why am I playing this game if I'm not going to enjoy it? This gameplay is not enjoying whatsoever. I don't know who gets a kick out of this. I guess the other pre-made gets a kick out of it. Oh, we're focused target. Look at us. We're so good. Really? That's what you want to do? A lot of other games have basically understood this and have limited how many people can queue up in a group, and at this point when you can have basically 8 people in a group, it's just too much. Realistically, 4 is too much. It really is. There should be a limit to 2, and the reason is because of how the group and how the maps work. A lot of times in this game, PvP, it isn't about who the best player is, it's about who doesn't have the worst player. Who is contributing the least, and that's kind of the way a lot of these matches have been going here lately. If you're gonna be solo queuing, just want to drop in for a couple games, which is the majority of population. Don't get me wrong, and this is another point. The majority of the population is just solo queuing in PvP. So if the majority of your player base is solo queuing, and they run into this situation, why are they queuing again? Why would they continue to play PvP? There's no point. I wouldn't. It's not fun. Look at this. Is this fun? Does this gameplay here look fun to have 5 people just basically zerging you nonstop? It wasn't fun for me, and I've been playing the game for 10 years plus at this point, through beta and everything. This is not fun, engaging gameplay. There's nothing I can do at this point. Tanks, heals, yada yada yada. So this needs to be changed. You can kind of go through the gameplay. We're not going to win this game. I mean, we do win this game, but it doesn't feel like you win this game. It doesn't feel like anything contributed. They're just basically just sitting on nodes. That's not what PvP is supposed to be about. PvP needs some changes at this point. I don't know if BioWare even cares really anymore. All the communication stuff that we've been getting has basically said they don't. They don't want to basically invest anything anymore. It's pretty much like, well, the game's getting to that point where it's going to be on maintenance mode, and I'm really starting to see it. As much as people, I've never been one of those people to basically say, oh, well, they're not going to invest into it. And they just upgraded the servers to 64-bit and the game client and everything, but still, I think that was more of a necessity where they had to than anything else. As you can see, I'm just getting targeted by them nonstop constantly. I mean, it is what it is. This isn't fun. It isn't engaging. This is basically, it's almost like playing, you literally just, you're signed up saying, you know what, I'm gonna play a 4v1. Okay, that used to work. If this was 2.0, could I have done something better? Yes. If this was 2.0, when there was more skill expression in the game, 100% I could have done something. But now, when we've pruned all the abilities, when we've made everything so simple as far as class and mechanic wise, there's no way to outskill this. This is just basically a death ball at this point. It is what it is. So what? Again, they're just gonna sit here mid, and this game is absolutely boring. That's all there is to it. This game is just a joke. Look what's happening. Is this engaging combat? Is this anything? Look, stun, choke, stun, cooldowns popped, stun, dead, and it just continues to happen this way. There is nothing that I can do in this game, and I think that's the biggest problem. Is the pre-mades are making it so that it doesn't matter what your skill level is. So a lot of skill expression has been removed, like I was talking about before, and then we run into situations like this where the game just gets boring, and that's the biggest problem in PvP right now. I think if that you did remove a lot of the PvP pre-mades at this point, I think the game actually will be better. And I know I've been kind of one of those people that have been saying keep the pre-mades, but honestly, if this is what it boils down to, why are we keeping them? What kind of experience does this give? Because you know what experience happens with this? I'm not happy. I turn chat off, but people are just talking to each other in chat about it. I mean, all it is creating a toxic environment. The one thing they wanted to get rid of was all the toxicity and everything from ranked. It's just basically been moved into here since it's just nothing but pre-mades anymore. I mean, that's all it's done. It's just moved where it is. Maybe they're happy with it since there's no, I guess, visible ranks or anything anymore, but let's be real. We all know who good players are and who bad players are. It's not hard to tell. You don't need some ranked leaderboard to show you that. The only difference is right now is, and it's been this way since 7.2, basically the game's just unfun at this point. Everything It's just been from the worst from a PvP perspective since 7.2. You can see, we go further through this game, it's just more of the same. It's really, you're just sitting there, you're watching paint dry. I was gonna stop playing. If it wasn't for this video, I would have stopped playing after this. If it wasn't for me trying to get some clips of some things for some upcoming things, I would have stopped playing. But I wanted to kind of go through here and show kind of what the current queue experiences is like, in case anybody at BioWare wants to know. Because this is a prime example of what people are going through right now. And I'm pretty sure this is not what they want. This can't be the intended PvP experience, because if it is, then who wants to be part of this right now? So as you can see, again, just kind of death falling mid. Doesn't really matter. So we go ahead, we try to kill the healer, instantly stun, and what's going to happen is the entire pre-made will jump on me eventually, like immediately, and you know why. See, look, here we go. I called it, it's not a thing. See, this only happens if these people are in Discord, they're on the same team, yada yada yada. We know this. Look, now there's 2 of them, and then there's 4 of them. Yep. Every single time. Instantly gets guard. How can I outplay this? Anyone have any ideas? There's no way for me to outplay this. There's no skill expression here. 0 skill expression whatsoever at that point. It's just, oh look, we're all talking to each other. Now in a normal solo queue game, what happens is, if I push a healer like that, the healer runs away from me, I can run and chase him. Maybe one person might follow me, not the entire team. But, given the fact that it is a pre-made and they're all in Discord, the healer's basically going to be like, oh, there's a people attacking me, everyone turn around, which is what happens. That's the problem. We need to make it so that this just can't happen. You cannot have the whole pre-made thing go on like this. It's literally making the game almost unplayable. Like, this game was boring, and I'm all been for pre-mades over and over again, but at this point with the population, it's not worth it. So again, we're getting focus targeted. I know I'm going to. My solution to this is kind of one that people might not like. I don't mind if people group up, but here's the whole thing: split the pre-made. You put half of the pre-made on one side, half the pre-made on the other side. That's what I would do. That would be my change to this whole situation. So if you have an 8-man pre-made that wants to all queue up, they eventually get split to 4 to 4. If it is 2, I think you can actually get by with 2. I think you can leave it as 2, so the maximum would be like 2 before it would split. If it's 3, it goes to 2 and 1, etc. So 4, 2 and 2. So basically the pre-mades just get split. They can still end up playing with each other. You might run into the situation where you start having people throwing, but I really don't think that's going to happen. And I'll tell you why, because every time I've been on the other side against people that I know, it's been the opposite. It hasn't really been throwing. I've been trying to kill them more. So that's more of the PvP mentality. So I would change it to that. I think that's the just best change right now, is just splitting the pre-made groups up. As you can tell, this game was complete just nothingness. It was what it was. And then I got some, I hate that Warzone thing where you can't accept missions. BioWare changed that. I don't know why that's a thing. Why you can't accept things while you're inside of a Warzone. And so the game is done. So we're just going to go ahead and exit the game. And I'm going to show you what happens now. And this was a situation that I was in. I was like, you know what? That match was not fun. Not entertaining in the least. What am I going to do about it? So I did the thing that everybody does. And this is the part of PvP, another part of the pre-made problem. So you load back to the fleet. You go up to the chat and you start searching for the pre-made. So I tried to remember a couple of their names. I couldn't. I thought I had one. So you just start kind of scrolling through, and I didn't know who it was. So then I went to my chat log and just see kind of who defeated me and that kind of thing, so I could put them on my friends list. So scroll through chat. I'll find a couple of them somewhere up here. And this is kind of how you circumvent it. It shouldn't be like this, but this is just what happens in the game now. And it's not just me that's doing this. All kinds of players are doing this now. So again, you find someone's name, you kind of put it in chat, you find out where they are, see if you can't find them. Sometimes a lot of them run like weird names, so it's hard to search who they are. But I ended up finding a couple of them. It does take some doing though, but I would rather sit here and do this, even though me doing this is just kind of showing how bad the PvP system is currently. I am literally searching for players to add to my friends list, so I just don't have to bother with it. So I don't have to bother with an experience that is not good. It's just unplayable. It's an unfun experience. So I finally found the people that are in the pre-made. Boom. Added them to my friends list. Now, here's the most engaging part of the engaging part. So what do? We sit here and we wait. This is PvP right now. Right now, this is PvP. We are watching to see when they get in a match, because if we don't, we will be queued against them again and again and again and again. This isn't how the system's supposed to work. This is driving the player base away currently. This is what people are doing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. People are just gonna sit here and wait for them to get in a match. Now, I'm not gonna bore you guys. This did take a while. Honestly, it took a very long time for them to get into a match. I don't want to bore you guys with how long it actually took. But it was roughly about 10 to 15 minutes before I actually got into a match after this, before they actually got queued up. So again, we're just waiting on them, and finally they get into a Void Star. So they get into a Void Star, now we can go ahead and queue up. So we queue up, we get into a Void Star. It's a different Void Star map. So I'm excited. Alright, so we got rid of the pre-made. It's just going to be... So I double checked just to make sure I'm in a different map, make sure somebody didn't quit. But we got into a map, there's no pre-mades, nothing. So pretty excited. Gonna have a regular, normal, good PvP match, right? Right? Should be just a very regular, normal PvP match. Everything looks good. Some of you might have already noticed what's going to be going on. So instantly, I kind of go in here, then I start looking around. I start looking at the guild names, and guess what? Another pre-made. So not only is matchmaking so bad that it's putting just a random group of people against each other, there is another pre-made in queue. Another pre-made in queue. They were sitting there in queue, did not get matched up against them. How? And that's the problem. This right here is the fundamental problem of PvP right now. The matches are not fun because the matchmaking is not working. There's a 4-made pre-made, a 4-man pre-made right here. Right here. And they did not get matched against the other pre-made. They were both in queue at the same time. It just boggles my mind. That's it. I know it's a little bit ranty, but I just want to kind of go over the experience currently with the PvP and everything. Guys, go ahead and leave your comments down in the comment section. See if you guys have kind of the same experience that I did. And as always, have a good day.